Alright, let's talk about CPI expectation. This is going to be the last CPI report that we're going to get for the year. However, this is going to be the CPI report for November instead of December. The CPI report is going to be dropping on the 13th of December. Okay, so things that we have to actually look out for. Right now, the street's consensus at the moment, we are thinking that the forecast for this CPI is going to be about 0.5% month over month. Of course, that's going to bring down our year over year down to about, I think, 7.5%. Okay, personally, my bullish thesis right now is that I think that we are actually going to get a 0%. Hear me out, okay? This sounds absolutely crazy, but I do think that we might actually get a 0% for this upcoming one. Because I feel that last month we actually was supposed to actually get somewhere even lower than 0.4. I was actually expecting us, of course my expectation did say that it was going to be at 0.5%. However, I did think that my bullish thesis was supposed to go towards a 0%. And after actually reading through the whole entire report, I realized that prices are definitely going to be going down. And we do not really have very, very strong persisting factors other than the fact that we have for food and energy costs. However, for energy costs at the moment, energy is already dropping down in price. If you are looking at your oil prices, you're looking at your crude, you're looking at all your natural gases, all of them are actually basically going down in the front lines. Okay, so if energy prices is going to be going down, which personally I do think that they are possibly going to be showing some level of disinflation, not deflation, but disinflation, I do think that maybe under the core CPI side, we are most likely going to be seeing a little bit of a disinflation, which means that it's going to be a lowering of a high inflation. Now, if you look at persisting factors such as your food prices, I don't think that food prices is going to be seeing any negative downturn in terms of the inflationary pressure. I think that is still going to be quite persisting. Okay, sad to say, chances are for the food prices, we're still going to be getting like 0.9% month over month for the whole entire food index, personally speaking. But I do think that apparel, I think for house decor, I think for services such as your house services, your medical services, all of them most likely going to be tuning down in terms of prices. So if you actually collate all the data and stuff, chances are I would assume my bullish thesis is at 0% to all the way to like 0.2%. I think that's my bullish thesis. And trust me, with this bullish thesis, if it actually comes out to be 0% to 0.2%, I can assure you that the market is going to go up at least 3%. Okay, the SPY is going to be rallying at least 3%. And here is why. Okay, I'm going to explain why it's going to be rallying so much. Not only are we actually starting to see the huge inflection point downwards to this hyperinflationary environment, the second thing is also the next FOMC meeting that's going to be happening, I think on the 3rd week of December. Chances are we are most likely going to be seeing the end of the 75 basis point hike era, because in the previous 3 cycles we have actually gotten 75 basis point increment for every cycle in the last 3 cycles. Okay, and if we actually get a 0% to a 0.2% increase as compared to what the street is expecting of a 0.5%, means that the market is going to be like, I think a 50 basis point hike is definitely going to be here. And on top of that, we also have to put in, we have to pen down a possibility of a 25% increase instead of a 50 basis point increment. And if you actually get a 25 basis point increment, this is going to be a huge news. Okay, of course, personally, I think that in the realm of possibility for us to actually get a 25 basis point increment is actually close to 0. But think of it this way, if we actually get a 0% inflation month over month, this would actually help all of them, all the Federal Reserve to actually come out and think, maybe there is a good chance that we might actually be able to step out of this thing lower than what we are actually tabulating to begin with. So that's kind of like the bullish thesis on my expectation. Alright, now let's go with our base case expectation. Okay, even for my own base case expectation, it is still softer than what the Wall Street expectation is actually going through. I'm thinking about 0.4% or so. Okay, for the reason why I think 0.4%, I think that if we are to actually go via that, because oil prices actually only started to drop closer to the start of December, which means for the November data, it actually hasn't really been penned in just yet. So core prices is still going to be going up, which means your food prices and your gas and energy prices is still going to be going up. And if these two are still continuously going to be going up in terms of inflationary pressure, the pricing index for all the other items cannot actually build this thing, cannot really push this out of the way, which means that if food prices is still persisting, energy prices is still persisting, all your other services, your decor, your apparel, things like that, they're still not going to be able to push away this two huge persisting factor. And that's why I think that it will still be at 0.4%. However, if you actually look at the November data sheet, which is reflecting October's CPI data, we actually saw that, phone prices, smartphone prices are actually dropping as well. And on top of that, we also have a lot of news in this month actually, talking about how Apple is also starting to actually change their production line, maybe changing out from China and things like that. Of course, we have yet to actually see any changes in terms of pricing as of now, but I think that is going to be affecting prices even more. Okay, I do think that right now demand is starting to slow down a lot more. I think demand for items are starting to actually basically just die off. Think of the Black Friday sale. People didn't really care about the Black Friday sale for two different reasons. The first reason is because the sale is not exactly all that good. Okay, it wasn't exactly a Black Friday worthy sale. People were giving out 20% or 15%. I think the most was 40% sale. That's not what Black Friday is all about, especially in America. Okay, in America, when people say Black Friday sale, they're expecting 80% discount. They're expecting 90% discount. They're expecting to pay 50% off and then get two other things for free. Okay, Black Friday sale is meant to be the shopping holiday of the year. People are going to save all their shopping from September all the way till Black Friday just so that they can get the deal of their life. And that doesn't seem to be the case for this Black Friday holiday for this time round. And that has to do with the supply chain issues as well. Okay, companies are actually kind of struggling to even put on usual market rates out there, let alone a fire sale for them to actually get the items out to the consumers. So consumers do not really have the demand for them to actually want to buy during a Black Friday sale. So that's not going to be helping out with the whole huge inflation between your supply and demand chain. So I do think that because of that, I do see a little bit of a demand destruction. Demand is most likely going to be going down, and I think supply is still consistently trying to build up, especially after the pandemic. A lot of companies are putting a lot more focus into their supply chain, hoping that their supply chain is not going to suddenly get disrupted just because of any small things. They're going to ensure that they have the proper inventory at the back. But of course, that's also going to be coming at a different cost to them as well, because inventory does come with cost. Just look at Peloton. Okay, they have so much inventory to the point where they have to actually sell it off the shelf, and it's horrible. Okay, so, but right now I do think that demand, the whole demand situation at the moment is definitely slowing down. And when demand actually slow down and supply not really moving downwards with it, I think that we are starting to see an inflection for inflation to go right now. So personally, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to be right, okay? But even for my base case, I do think that the market is, well, it's not going to rally to the moon or anything, but I do think that the market is probably going to rally maybe about 1% or so for my base case scenario. Let's talk about my bear case, okay? My bear case is that they completely missed on every level possible, and we're going to get a 1% increase in our inflation. Okay, this is bear case scenario, and you have to know this is we suddenly have a huge record on food prices going up by 2%. We have energy prices going up by 1.5% or 2% or even 3% actually. And that's kind of what energy prices are actually doing nowadays. Okay. And we have all your apparels, we have all your house services, plumbing services, electrical services, medical services. All of them are going to be up by 2-3%. Okay, I think that is our worst case scenario, which is suddenly having everything actually inflect upwards instead of inflect downwards. And that's going to be very, very bad for the market. Not only because we're actually still suffering from a hyper-inflated economy, but at the same time, it simply means that this inflation has plateaued completely. It means that we have one whole year of bad inflation to the point where it's actually difficult for you to actually get inflation back downwards. And on top of that, let's not forget, getting that bad of a market economy data to be out there, 1% increase month over month, when the street is expecting 0.5%. Jerome Powell is going to come out and destroy the market. Jerome Powell is going to come out and say, that's it, 100 basis point increment is on the table. And that's when we actually start to see the huge fear to strike the market. The moment CPI drop with a 1%, the market is probably going to drop about 3-4%. Okay, the SPY is going to drop maybe 3 to 4%. I think the Dow Jones is going to drop about 2 to 3%. Afterwards, maybe in the next week, we're going to see maybe James Bullard, we might see Lyle Brainard, any of the Federal Reserve members coming out to say, you know what, I think that inflation is officially going went out of control. I think that the whole Federal Reserve Board completely recognizes the fact that this market is going crazy, and because of that, what they have to do is to actually pen down the possibility of a 100 basis point increment. I think that is a very, very possible thing to happen, and because of that alone, if that were to happen, then goodbye to the market. Because the moment Lyle Brainard or James Bullard come out to say such a statement, the market is going to drop another 1 to 2%. Okay, and when FOMC actually says 100 basis point increment, the market is going to drop another 2 to 3 more percent. Okay, we are so far away from the bottom, we don't even understand it. Okay, because right now, from just look at my own investing journey thus far, 2021 was a dream. Okay, it was basically these days that everything was just you putting in $1, you can get back 10 easily. Okay, you can get 10 times your money, no problem. And in 2022, clearly that's not the case. Okay, we are starting to pay for the stuff that we have done back in 2021. So yeah, hopefully we are able to still make a little bit of money in this whole market cycle, or at least not lose that much money. That's all that we can really hope for. But anyway, that's all I have for this expectation video. Thank you guys so much for watching till this far, and also please subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'm left with a month. I'm at 89 subscribers at the moment. I really want to get to 100 by the end of the year. Okay, please help me out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.